Welcome back to the studio, and we are going to have the wonderful Jin Tan give us a rundown of the next two teams who are going to be facing each other. It is going to be Rote Kapelle and Dreamfleet.
Yeah, Rote Kapelle, one of the teams that, one of the alliances that were a member of the Curious Fight Club coalition in its most previous iteration before it failed cascaded into oblivion, and they're a team that takes the AT very, very seriously. They have a lot of great pilots, and they do a lot of practice on TQ that's effectively just AT training. Like, they're not afraid to put real assets on the line and get those combat shakes out of the way. And that's one of the reasons why they've historically done fairly well. They've got a lot of pedigree there. And in fact, I want to give a shout out to Morwen Langen, who is a member of their team and has been great in helping me to bring concerns regarding the AT to CCP. The other team is Dreamfleet, who are effectively the inheritors of AAA, the new southern Russian demagogues, as it were, that rule catch and period basis and Paragon Soul with an iron fist, and they do wonderfully at it. And they were involved recently in the conflict in catch against Reload's alliance, Lumpy.
Yeah, so Suetonia, why don't you tell us a bit about Rote Kapelle? Very old tournament team, very prestigious, but they kind of fallen on hard times lately?
Yeah, I think Rote Kapelle, in the past, they've had a lot of really strong wins. They've knocked Pandemic Legion out of the tournament and killed, I believe, a Malice of theirs, well, Flag Balgon. I think actually the Malice has survived, but they killed a very expensive Balgon, I think.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see them maybe return to former glory in this match.
Yep.
Let's very quickly go down predictions. Jintan, do you think it's going to be Rote Kapelle or Dreamfleet that takes this match?
I'm going to go for Rote Kapelle. I think they've got the pedigree.
Suetonia?
I'm going to go for Rote Kapelle, but I think Dreamfleet might be able to get it.
I'll go for Dreamfleet. I believe in you guys. Take down the old bitter vets of Rote Kapelle. Bring on the new fresh faces into the tournament scene. Let's go over to the commentators, Squeebles, and Reload right now.
All right, welcome back. Right now we have Dreamfleet versus Rote Kapelle. Definitely a couple of interesting elements on both teams here. For the Dreamfleet team, one of those. A lot of newts. We have a Balgorn, a Cruor, a Prophecy, which is kind of an interesting choice, and 2 Max for DPS and 2 little Logifrigs.
That's pretty interesting. And on the Rote Kapelle side, we have the Navy Mega, Dual Rail Astarte, Guardian Eshimu, 2 Sweeples for the support, and a small bomber wing. So it's pretty interesting to see what this Rote Kapelle side actually does compared to the Dream Team fleet.
I'm having flashbacks here. Blaster Rush, 3 bombers. However, an important difference between this team and the one that we saw Waffles Field, and that they have 2 Sweeples and they have an Ashmu. So they do have some tackle ability, and hopefully they can get that set up early and get those blasters in on top of whatever they want to primary. Navy Megathron pilot Vic Jefferson, great name. He needs to get in quickly. He can get screened out really easily by the Cruor if the Balgorn has webs or these Sweeples, and if he gets locked down, he's not going to be able to project into the fight.
Yeah, the Navy Mega is at 0, and the Dream Team fleet have also brought their flagship Balgon, so Dream Fleet are definitely going all in with this setup, with their dual Macarial setup. It'll be pretty interesting to see if the Deacons can actually keep up their Macarial Balgon Prophecy core against Astartes and a Navy Mega.
So I'm going to say no, but there is a really good possibility that those Deacons can keep the Swipples up. They're a little bit range limited. They're going to have to be careful to not get in and get caught. But the Bomber DPS is not going to apply very well to them because of SIG reasons. So they're really only going to have the 2 Swipples and the Astartes to contend with. So if they're smart, if they can keep these Deacons and these Swipples alive on the Dreamfleet side, they should be in pretty good shape. They can screen out they can screen out the Navy Mega. And you said these are Rail Astartes, though,
These
right?
are Rail Astartes, yes, correct.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely an interesting choice, but I think it's the right choice. You lose some DPS, but what you gain in projection is so worth it, in my opinion.
It's pretty interesting as well because both teams have actually warped in at staggered. Stim have warped in staggered, while all the Dream Team have warped at range, and matches are going now, and it looks like both peoples are burning for their Dream Team Logi.
Interestingly, one of the Rote Kapelle Swiffles actually worked in at 0 and then immediately burned backwards. So he had a chance to pin down one of the Astartes who also worked in at 0. He chose not to. He chose to pull back. We're already seeing Swiffle on Swiffle action, Swiffle on Bomber action now.
Yeah.
And these Nemesises or Nemesi are going down pretty quickly. I don't think they're going to be kept up if this damage is getting focused well on those bombers.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to be kept up just fine for now. It'll be pretty interesting to see whether Griffin jams actually come into play. It looks like he's trying to jam an Ashima now, trying to get rid of the webs, probably on the Nemesis, because they're being webbed and used by the... Oh, never mind. That's the same team, but the Deacons are... Oh, it looks like it's people down on the Dream Fleet side, though. Couldn't keep up against the Deacons.
I do want to point out that just because they're on the same team doesn't mean they're not attacking each other.
Yeah.
Plenty of teams who've played that routine, that old trick. The support were swinging in favor of Rote Kapelle. Their Nemesi, are very, very well tanked. Some nice work by the Logi to stagger reps. So big ups to Rectifear in the Guardian. He's doing a nice job. And this is not looking good for Dreamfleet. They've got one of the Deacons now tackled. He's going down. Meanwhile, that flagship Balgorn of Luriana Lee also in half armor, so losing logistics frigates and losing HP on your flagship is
not
I would
very
rate
good.
that suboptimal, yeah.
Yeah, but looks like Rote Kapelle are sitting quite comfortably with their setup right now. Their Nemesis are being wrapped up. Looks like he is going down. Yeah, it looks like he will be going down soon, maybe, if that the Guardian is muted, but looks like Nemesis is getting kept up just fine, even though he's in structure. But it looks like looks like he did lose the bomber, but Dreamfleet have lost all their support, and that Deacon is trying.
Oh god. Okay, so this flagship Balgorn going low, going so low, and it's a flagship. If it goes down, they can't bring it back even if they stay in the tournament. And finally, it is down. So this just turned Dreamfleet into Nightmare Fleet. You've lost your flagship, and you're probably going to lose the match. But stranger things have happened, I guess. They could still pull it back, right?
I mean, they do have their 2 Max and their prophecies, and they still have the Hero Deacon trying to rep the Macarios, but the Macarios are tracking disrupted, so it looks like they won't be applying much damage, and Rote Kapelle are sitting just fine, keep trying to control the Dream Fleet Macarios and Prophecy, and they seem to be doing just that.
Yeah, pretty comfortable win from Rote Kapelle. Rote Kapelle has a lot of tournament experience. They've been around for quite a while, so definitely see some names that you've seen in prior Alliance tournaments. Not too surprising that they made some really good decisions here.
Yeah.
They came in with a comp that I think could definitely have lost if it didn't get in quick and knock down targets. So again, nice job to their Swipple pilots doing exactly what you need to do when you're supporting a blaster team and getting in and slowing things down to the speed of pain.
Basically, those Swiftle pilots were quite key in knocking down the other support of Dreamfleet, make sure their support doesn't go on their core, and basically give them anywhere. It's pretty interesting on the bans. Rote Kapelle actually banned a Kitsune and a TF.
I'm not sure if I'm not hearing part of your commentary or if it's going to the stream, but a little bit choppy. But I got the core of that. Macarial now going down for Dreamfleet, and I would say war of attrition, but I don't think it's really a war. It's just sort of a waiting game. Really no chance unless we start to see those micro jump beacons light up. There's really no chance for Dreamfleet to come back here. But again, they're not eliminated from the tournament. This is just their first match. They're going to go into the losers bracket. So Dreamfleet not done. The flagship is gone, and again, they can't field that again. This is all operating under the assumption that they do in fact lose this match.
Yeah, it looks like their Macarials are slowly but surely getting blasted by those Astartes and that Navy Mega.
So here's a question for you: if you're on Dreamfleet team, what could you have done different? Did you see any obvious mistakes there that put them in a bad position, or do you think it was sort of a fleet comp decided the match?
I definitely think they should have played this more offensively. They kind of held back, and which just allowed the Navy Mega and Anishimu to just brawl in. The Sweeples obviously got tackled on their Sweeples, so I definitely think Dreamfleet should have just been way more offensive on this match. Their Deacons are also really fast as well, so they could evade the Sweeples speed mode. So they definitely should have played this more offensively. And the Griffin as well. The Griffin tried to jam the Ishimu, while I'd much rather prefer if they actually jammed the Astartes and Navy Megas.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point. Actually, we didn't really touch on the Ashmu there. I don't think that's a very good ship, and I'm proud to say it. But definitely offers some control there. But they're not known for being exceptionally tanky. Do you
Especially
think
in an armor setup.
Right. Do you think they? Well, I don't know. I think a shield setup would be too much better. But should they have looked for softer targets, or was Dreamfleet forced to engage in that support fight? Do you think?
They would. I reckon like Rote Kapelle forced their hand because their people just rushed in to their entire core, and Dreamfleet kind of like maybe panicked a bit and tried to get tackle on targets that they were initially trying to go for, but they couldn't because they were tackled by Rote's support fleet at the time.
Yep. Now's that time where we sit and watch. But well done by Rote Kapelle. They make something like this look easy. And
in reality, it isn't though. It's actually quite hard.
It never is, unless you're TNT and you anchor up in orbit. But they made some smart decisions before the match with this composition. Something, like I said, as simple as putting rails on the Astarte. I think that shows experience that some other teams who have tried to field blaster rushes today have not shown, and that they understand how limiting it is. And they're like, okay, guys, so in our fitting utility, it shows more DPS with blasters, but we know from experience that those blasters aren't going to be in optimal all the time, and they chose those rails. So I don't think that's always the right choice if you're going to go for this Galinti core.